Hi everyone. So today I'm going to talk to you about language of love. In any kind of relationship, we try to express our love through different ways. And this could be with your parents, could be your friends, your lovers, your partners, whoever. And there's often where we feel that our partner, whoever, or the person in our life that we care about, doesn't care for us back. And I'm not talking about relationships which are dysfunction or people who actually don't give a shit about us, but I am talking about situations where we feel like we're doing everything from our end and the person just doesn't appreciate us. The issue usually is that we don't understand our language of love and we don't understand our partner's language of love. Now, what is language of love? Well, there are 5 different ways of showing your emotion, or 5 different languages of love. There are words, there's time, spending time with people, there's giving gifts, there's physical touch, and then there's service, like doing things for somebody. So these are the 5 pillars or 5 languages of love. And I want you to take a minute and think about the person that you're in a relationship with, or think about anybody that you love. What was the first thing that really attracted you to them? For some people, it could have been like, oh, when they, touched my hand, like held my hand, where they held my hand and it felt so good. Or when somebody said something to me and that really, sparked my interest in them. Or maybe when we just spent time together. The thing is, when you look back and think about all the good relationships and when you first started really being attracted and falling in love with this person, you will realize that you have certain languages of love. Like, what are your importance by number of importance? So for me, I think definitely spending time, using words of love, telling somebody they care about them, and along with physical touch, is important. For me, gifts are actually lower on my scale of what's important in my language of love. Now, there's nothing good or bad. Now, the other person, whoever I'm thinking of or whoever I'm in a relationship with, their language of love could be gifts. So, for example, if I'm thinking of my parents, maybe the way they feel they can show their love is by giving gifts. Right? So say they want to give me gifts, but for me, getting gifts is lower on my level of what is important. What is for me a language of love, which is important, is spending time with me or talking to me, right? So that's where there is a mismatch. And oftentimes when you are in a relationship of any kind and things are not going according to you how you want them to, things are not going according to plan, it's because your language of love is not clear and they're not meshing together. Now, that doesn't mean you change your language of love. It just means that it's important for you to understand what works for you and what works for your partner. So I want you guys to take a moment and think about the best relationships, or the first time you saw somebody. What was the thing that really made you feel good? Was it the fact that they did something for you or did something for other people? Was it the fact that they touched you a certain way or gave you gifts or spent time with you or said something? Those are the 5 things, all right? And put them in order of importance, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 2, 3 are your main important language of love. So now so say if it's touch, that by someone just holding my hand, it makes me feel loved. Your partner's language of love may be opposite, right? So when you figure out what's important to you, you can actually communicate this to your partner or your friend or your family member and tell them that, look, I understand that when you give me gifts, it is your way of showing me love. And I appreciate that. But for me, spending time with me is more important. I would love it if you could also do that. When you make these things clear to the other person, that person will understand that your language of love is different. It doesn't mean the love is diminished on any partner's side, and love is always there. But how we express love is a big difference, right? At the same time, when you understand what your partner or the other person's language of love is, you can try to do more things according to their language of love so that they feel appreciated. So say you may not think giving gifts is important, but your partner's language of love, gifts is number 1. Then giving small gifts like a rose or something really tiny, doesn't have to be expensive, right? But giving A small gift makes them feel as lovable, as loved as you feel when they, speak to you or touch you or say something. So why not? The reason it's important for us to know the language of love is so that our relationship can get better with other people. And this can work for your friends, for your family, for your siblings, for your lovers, for your husbands. It is very important to understand that. Now, they may not be checking out this video, but you are. So even if you're single, you need to know what your language of love is. So when you're going out and dating people, you can be very clear on what it is that works for you and what it is that doesn't. The biggest issue is when you're making, putting out your intention for certain people to come into your life. If you yourself aren't very clear, how is the universe going to know what you want, right? So you have to be clear on what works for you. And the older you get, we do come to that by trial and error. But this is such a simple tool. So please try it today and let me know what your language of love is, all right? Take care. Bye.